Paul was a weak old man.
God willing, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Welcome to the show. You're one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. You can get the links to those video sites at westhesportsguy.com. Recaps, previews, all the good stuff that you want to know in the world of sports. So you can make sure you bookmark that site, westhesportsguy.com. All the social media links are there for you as well. Parler's back on the App Store for Apple, so you can go get that social media site. And I'm on there too, Wes Sports Guy, or you can find the link there at westhesportsguy.com. Getting into it, the title of this video is what it is. LeBron James is a moron.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is stupid does, Mr. Blue.
I guess.
Now, before I get into what LeBron James tweeted, I'm not going to show you the tweet, but I will tell you exactly what he said and what the context of it was. Basically, for what I can tell you here for YouTube, but other video sites I can pretty much say almost what it all is, what the entire details of the incident was. For BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, but I'm also sharing it on YouTube. But if you want to get other exclusive stuff eventually, when I get to that point, BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, you can find the links there at westhesportsguy.com. But for what I can say here on YouTube, what happened in Columbus, Ohio this last week, an officer was called to a situation where there was somebody with a knife. That's what the call had come in as. Officer was not sure what the situation was going to unfold, what was going to happen, but when he showed up, you can see the video footage for yourself. It's out there. Body cam footage, also security footage from the neighbor across the street. You also had still pictures from the body cam footage. What the officer came upon was a young woman ready to stab another young woman, and then before that was pushing over another young woman in the midst of the incident. It was just a lot of chaos. But the way the officer reacted, he acted in the right, because in order to protect and serve, you do have to make these kinds of decisions, especially when it comes to somebody's life. Somebody else was going to probably die with somebody with a knife ready to stab them. That's the situation. That's what the officer was dealt with, and he had to make that choice. To save a life, you had to take a life. That's what he decided. And in my opinion, he was in the right. I don't think it's going to be any other opinion other than that. But we do have a justice system for what it is. I don't believe it's going to go any further than this. The evidence is there. You can see it for yourself. But LeBron James decided to tweet out a picture of the officer in question so you can easily identify him. Yes, the name has been released. In these situations, that's normally what happens. But LeBron James, in an emotional response, according to him, decided to tweet a picture of the officer and say, quote, "You're next, hashtag accountability." What the hell are you doing, LeBron? What are you doing? There's no need for that. There's no need to do this. And if O.J. Simpson, of all people, can say, "Know the facts," in a tweet to LeBron James, wait for the facts. That's all it is. O.J. freaking Simpson's telling him this. So if OJ's telling you that, you know you're in the wrong. But to get into the accountability for LeBron James here. Accountability. Are you going to hold your teammate, Alex Caruso, accountable? He's profiting from slave labor right now. Right now. In an endorsement deal with a clothing company in China. Your teammate is profiting off of this. Your buddy, your former teammate, Dwayne Wade, who's now has a minority stake in the Utah Jazz. He's a part owner now in the NBA. You can tell him, because he's profiting off of it too. There's a lot of guys. Klay Thompson, as you can see in that tweet that I have here on my left, you're right on the screen. Klay Thompson's profiting off of it too. There's a lot of guys. A lot of guys in the NBA. And that number could be growing right now, as far as I'm concerned. Because nobody, including you, LeBron, wanted to say anything about Hong Kong. You don't want to say anything about this this slavery issue with these two Chinese companies that are based in China, continuing to have slave labor made for their products, their shoes, the clothing, all that stuff. Cotton is being done in the Xinjiang province for the Uyghur Muslims right now in China. Not to mention the Uyghur Muslims, but just Chinese citizens in general are being oppressed every freaking day. Do you know that, LeBron? Or no, you didn't want to talk about that when free Hong Kong was a thing, and Daryl Morey, who was the GM of the Rockets at the time, just tweeted the simple hashtag of free Hong Kong. No. According to LeBron, can't do that. Nope. You can't say that stuff. Okay, well, what about this? You're next to a Columbus police officer who saved the life of another young woman at the time when this other woman holding a knife? It sucks that somebody had to die. It sucks. But that's the hand the officer was dealt. But are you going to say anything about the violence that happens every day in this country? Or no, you're only going to focus on one little aspect of something that fits a narrative that you agree with. That's all you're focusing on. But I gotta say, LeBron James' story is something to kind of marvel at, to see where he came from. It should be talked about a lot more often than it is. It should be highlighted more often than it is. And really, I don't even know the whole story. But for what I do know, it's a really good and amazing story. To come from where he came from, and he's a billionaire athlete. Granted, there are some things that he's profiting off of, mainly in China, that I don't agree with. But you got to where you are. Aside from that, you got to where you are with the hard work and determination that we all espouse to want to show our children, and we all want to be that at some point in our lives. We all would like to strive for that. But for you to be in your position that you are in currently, LeBron James, you staying silent on issues like that, the facts are the facts. You have a teammate that's profiting off of slave labor. You have a former teammate and a friend, Dwayne Wade, who is now has a minority stake in the Utah Jazz, also profiting from slave labor. My video last week, in the last episode, highlights this whole thing. The facts are the facts. It's a New York Times story. It wasn't just from a guy that you want to say you don't like, from Outkick and Clay Travis. No, this was a New York Times story as well. Many places have reported on this. These are the facts. Guys are profiting off of slave labor right now, and they're playing in the NBA. So again, you're going to talk about accountability. You better look yourself in the mirror and hold yourself accountable. Hold your friends and your teammates accountable as well for something that can be stopped. And as I said in last week's episode, if the powers that be got together, this would end like that. Over with. And you can help in that regard. People are starting to say, oh, you should just shut up and dribble, LeBron. Just shut up and dribble. No, I don't want you to shut up and just dribble. No, keep saying what you're going to say. You have a platform that can end this kind of profiting from slave labor right now. You can end that. So no, don't shut up and dribble. But when you're going to go after a police officer when he's clearly in the right from the evidence that's out there, you didn't see the evidence, you didn't want to see the evidence, or you lied. One or the other. So in that instance, you probably should just zip it up and just go back to dribbling a little bit more. I know you're out right now with a high ankle sprain. So focus on that recovery. Get back out there on the court. But also, you could end the profiting from slave labor in China. You could do that. It's very simple. You have that kind of a platform. Will you or not? I don't know. But your silence is deafening. That's something I will say. But, take this advice with a grain of salt. Share it as much as possible, the video that I had last week on this channel, but simply put, LeBron James at this moment, he's still a moron.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell below to get notified when all the latest videos are posted on this channel at YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Get the links to those sites at westonsportsguy.com. Also, the social media links are there for you as well, and I will see you next time.